Greetings and salutations, humans. This is Froggy and Friends, and we're playing Grit. Ironically, we'd done like almost an hour of gameplay, and my computer froze. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of say what we did. We found out that Frederick's head injury involved his left eye. Everyone made it back to town. And what they're doing right now is they're kind of choosing talents. I gave some options to Cedric and Miss Jade um, about possibly getting new abilities or being able to have more control over them. Now they're just going through talents, and um, we don't necessarily need to have you spend your experience right now because I have shared that book with you. I can do it again, so you can choose your talents and what everything. But we can go to a carousing phase right now. So if you could hand me that book of those, because there are lots of options in what we're doing. A lot. Yep.
Just fun.
Oh, that's the stats for Conan. All right. So now Frederick,
Yep.
your healing is going to take about a month.
Ouch.
Because no one took any magic healing or anything like that. Unless you let's roll and see if Mr. Thaddeus can bring somebody in. Who would like
Okay.
to roll?
What would it fall in?
Let's see. Let's go persuasion.
I would probably have the highest.
Yeah, mine's a 10 with a 1 focus.
No, definitely not me.
All right, then you're up, Jade. Unless Frederick's.
Am I just rolling two?
Unless you want to give Doom or anything, I've got during actually all this Doom's gone.
Then yes, definitely give him Doom.
We're having
Because
to.
We need Frederick to be able to
Yeah.
see.
Some Doom.
Like how many Doom do you want to roll out 5 dice? It would just be 3 Doom.
Yes. We need Frederick to be able to see. Can we assist? No, probably not.
It'll follow the.
And you got 1,
Are these all?
12. What do you mean?
Those are all
I
12.
need under
one's a
10, so it's
17.
two.
So that'd be 2 success. And then what's this one? 17?
So I just have 2 successes.
2 successes.
But no critical fails.
Okay. Now I'm gonna kind of narrate it like this. Your time. This is a few days afterward, Thaddeus. It's a very awkward exchange between you and him. But when you went back to your room actually had all these different colored dresses like hanging on the wall. You didn't know what color was your favorite.
That's sweet.
Yeah, but they're all like perfectly to your size, which is you're like, what the heck?
Taylor.
Yeah, like, and then there's like a note specifying, I'm so sorry, I didn't know what color you would have liked. And then there's this really strange, like, awkward, long explanation of like, would you want to have dinner with him and do stuff like that? So this would be during this exchange.
You better put that dress on, girl. Go persuade him.
But and he's still in a sling.
Oh, go.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
He's still hurt from her.
And Winslow, he's still swollen because it's literally been a few days.
Yeah, it's been a rough few days.
Yeah, and he's
It's not even a week.
yeah, it's not even a week. Frederick, you can still do. The thing is your left eye is patched up. You can still do stuff. Your left eye now. Just it matters on how this heals up. Observations via sight and like your insight and things like that is going to be 1 to 2 steps more difficult. Your shooting. Just roll me a d6. Remember on evens it's right, on odds it's left. So just tell me what that number is.
Left.
Left. Okay. Sadly, you were left eye dominant. Yeah.
That's
Yes. Yeah. So there's going to be actually your ranged attacks are going to be all through your coordination are going to be one step more. But because anytime that your sight comes into play, that it's going to be a detriment, you automatically get a fortune.
Oh, well, that's nice. I like that.
This is a scar. Now, also, so this is a weekend. I'm gonna give it your choice if you want to role play your date, or do you want to just kind of roll
That would
and
be
see how things go here?
Do you
I want to be at a table somewhere just like.
It's the only saloon in town.
I'm visibly noticeable. I'm visibly noticeable though because I still have the goggles.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's up to you. Because putting in consideration, if we're doing that, that's just a one-on-one kind of time, so that might be boring for the other people. But I'm gonna let you that as an option. Otherwise, they're probably gonna be
I
laughing.
don't mind.
Frederick.
Does everyone leave on the date?
I haven't told
Sure.
anybody
Yeah,
yet, so
Because for sure I know Frederick, like, as soon as he could see, or like a couple days after, he would take like a handful of salt and just everybody's getting
I'm the one who gave him the
Yep.
dress sizes.
Okay. Yeah. He's so okay.
everybody's
Frederick has a big bandage over his eye. They stitched up the area here, so he's bandaged up, and he found a container full of salt, and whenever he's around you, he's throwing it over your over your shoulder, and then he's like taking
Yeah.
stuff, and he's like, oh my gosh, he ordered in like holy water. You guys are getting doused. Like, what in the world?
Yeah,
stop.
absolutely. I did think of a couple things that I wanted to do.
Okay.
If you're
Yes.
just
Great.
waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, so currently I am sleeveless on my right side of my duster,
Yep.
and but I also thought of some talismans that I want to make in the meantime.
Okay, the talismans will be rolling your alchemy.
Okay.
Or yeah, it's gonna be alchemy because you're. Wait, is that alchemy? Let me see here.
Is that
I mean it's in. Never mind.
Petty
No, wait.
enchantments,
should we put on the date?
making a petty enchantment. Two.
It's in sorcery.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of these other ones it's your alchemy skill.
Oh,
I already have the vicious on it.
I think it's still alchemy. Yes, I think it's still your alchemy.
Doki doki.
Okay.
It is the alchemy skill.
Yep. So
Calm
that's
down.
yep. So that's what you get to use. So you can give me doom and stuff.
I could help. Well, I don't think I could help, but I'm pretty proficient
get it.
in alchemy. If there's a way I could
Mhm.
aid or something, if there's some story way.
Okay. So if you could roll me some alchemy. Now, you have more than enough ingredients and everything like that, so your momentum makes it easier. But you get to roll per one. So let's see.
Okay. So I'm trying to make 4 Hamsa bracelets or Hamsa pendants, I think.
Okay.
Which is the like the hand that has 2 thumbs. It's got one thumb in place of a pinky, and then there's an eyeball in the middle of the hand.
Yep.
It's a Middle Eastern symbol, but
Yep.
okie doke. And Caleb or Cedric, would you help me with this?
I could.
Yep.
If there's a story way, yeah, I'll do it. I mean,
So what you do is you just roll a single dice with your alchemy skill.
yo, should be pretty good at this, hopefully. Success, yes.
So he succeeds. So you gain a single momentum from him.
I know. Sometimes you can't. Look, it's a 6.
Well, the first one I did, I only had a complication on it.
Only a complication.
Yeah, no successes.
Ye-
Except for the one that Cedric gave me.
I think I walk by and I see him do that, and I'm like, you did that wrong. You have to.
So so you opted not to even give me any doom to have more dice?
No, but I'll do it next time.
Okay, because of the difficulty, that means that you need that many successes.
Yeah, I need 2 successes.
Yeah, so this one didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna count that as him helping, so you get a momentum on your next roll. But you did not make the number you wanted to.
Okay. Then I'll use that momentum next roll.
How many doom did you give me?
Another complication. And no successes.
You-
At that point, he might just win.
Okay, cool. All right.
How about somebody knocking mostly?
Now,
Huh?
what did you decide? What did you decide collectively about the date thing?
I think it'd be fun.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is that might be an entire session, so we might not, since we're going so late.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But let's do a roll of persuasion.
Okay.
Just roll a persuasion, or did you already do that?
You
roll
did.
that-
Yeah,
roll
Jared
that.
gets a
Yes,
success.
yes,
You
yes.
get 2.
Yes.
Okay. With that, he is bringing more than one person in to help with like magical healing.
Nice.
Um,
Look at that, guys.
yeah. So,
Nice.
but it's gonna take a little while because he had to wire for him. There's one person he's bringing in, but he does have access to the train, so it's gonna be the next. So this is still like you're still down for a month to make sure that he's getting healed up.
Okay.
During that time, there is an individual that comes riding into town in like a black hearse wagon. Have you ever seen a 1820s hearse?
Yes.
He's got a boulder hat, dark pencil mustache, gets out, dusts himself off, and he has a long conversation with Thaddeus. He actually stays in another room, but you don't really have much contact with him. But yeah, just so there is that another individual there.
Okay.
Um,
Like staying at this Shards Hotel.
yeah, staying in this. Yeah, and he only comes out at night. Like he came in during the day, the sunlight was there, but he's kind of like a night owl.
Okay.
So
I was like, "Sam, we ever immediately. Hey, you want some garlic?
um so let's see here.
It was the
Okay, during this month, could I have, because we're gonna do that, could I have Cedric and Tulok roll me a single d20 and tell me the number?
Oh no. Do we know what we're rolling for?
No.
I got a 2.
Also, I would like
Two?
to buy a talent at some point, but I don't know how to do that. I got a 6. Is that 6 or a 9? Yeah, it's a 6. Okay. Oh, duh, it's a 6. Yeah. I don't know. Wait, is that a 6? It's that one.
Which one did you get?
I got this one, but that's the other one. So
The one.
where's the line underneath? Okay, well, let's find 19 to verify. That same like? That's 19. That's a different line.
Okay, so
Then you.
It's a 6. It's a 6.
okay, cool. On okay, I'm gonna have you roll this. Just tell me what it is. It's a 1. Okay, thank you. Just so you know what I've been texting. I've been texting Emily, told her the situation, so I asked her like roughly how long we have.
Sure.
So I can do kind of like a sped up date thing. Um, okay. So
What's that speed?
this not necessarily because this is what happens is the day that you specify, a few days before the hotel becomes spotless, decorated, there is a band that's brought in, like an orchestral band. Yeah, like a not huge, but
Yeah, at the other table.
yeah. Well, but the funny thing is, you guys in the rooms, like, you have a table brought in every single one of your rooms, and you're brought the same meal that everybody else brought.
So that way
It's not locked, but for that time, any politely requests, like he's just like, I just want some, I just want to get to know her better. She's like red flushed face, and you're just like he's like not giving anybody eye contact. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just practicing my tomahawk awkwardly loud on purpose.
Yeah. And Winslow is like he feels awkward about it too because he has to be there the whole time.
Serving.
Yeah. And
It's got game here.
now when you're in your room, that special object that you have, it makes a lot more noise now when you're around it. Yeah.
Okay.
So. Okay, so now during this date, the music's playing, and one of the, but it's like it's just money buys good stuff. So and the band is like playing at just the right volume, and you've got a person kind of walking around, kind of reading your reaction to it, and actually like seeing like what music, if you like that music or not. But that yeah, but that individual actually kind of like double takes for a second. If you could roll me a insight. Awareness.
I climb out of my window on the second story and go out.
Are you choosing your spell there, Frederick?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's a healing one.
Oh,
That
the healing one, it would be kind of I'd be kind of going by the rules of dismembered.
dismembered.
Yes. So I'd be going by the rules of that, but what it is you have to cause harm or something to something, and the damage you cause to that would be going to the other person.
That's what I kind of figured.
Yeah.
And I think I should be okay with it.
Okay. Okay. What did you roll?
Critical fail.
Okay.
No
She's
successes.
one
Head
fan of
over heels with
the
that is. No idea what's going on.
That is just a charming young man.
Okay.
He's got money.
12 to there's material correct.
What color vest would you have chosen?
What color options do I have?
I'm talking
All of them.
every
Get them all
It
sewn
was-
together.
no it was all of them stacked like like it is
Every color.
Say yes.
every color, and it's like the Victorian styles, and then also it was listed in there like, if none of these are to your liking, let me know. And that old woman comes in, and she's the one that actually is helping you through this. So like it was an entire, and she
Whole
like,
town.
he's like, and these are yours, or if you don't like them, we can give them to somebody. He doesn't care.
He's like, here, just take a. My dress would be dark green,
Okay,
like
dark.
an emerald green.
Okay, dark green. And then also,
color.
Yeah, like a
Whoa.
jade color.
and then also you're brought in jewelry as well, and it's like his family heirloom stuff. Yeah.
He's a wife.
We need some. Just
No, just put in consideration, like this is all he knows how to. This is what he knows
Yeah.
to do.
No, it's very sweet of him, but I'm Tulok's gagging a little at the extravagance of it.
Well, you're like.
Are you jealous?
Now I'm disgusted.
oh,
Great.
Sacrifice her to the Swedes.
Okay. Now with there is actually like a gold and diamond necklace with matching rings and earrings. I don't even know if your ears are pierced. They may.
I don't even know if they
Was that
just-
pierced ears?
It's a thing in different
Yeah.
areas, so yours probably weren't. But then there is like a matching bracelet and necklace of different colored stones. So pretty much
Hmm.
yeah.
I would have done the bracelet.
How much of it did you keep?
Keep it all.
Okay,
Need a little
and so
time.
but during the music being played, it's the conversation, of course, he's trying to stray away from talking about the horrors of what you guys just saw. 'Cause he had a really long time looking through the photos. It took you a while to develop those photos, but he sat down and he went through everything that happened. He was very intrigued about all of it. Um, and he felt horrible. Like literally, he's just like, I sent messengers of doom in essence. Like that town died because he's got that. You can tell that his conscience is weighing. He's just like, I'm okay.
Like,
I killed an entire, like that's kind of what he feels like, and because you guys were locked up, and he's like, I didn't do it right, and so the conversation is really, of course, awkward the entire time. Well, he's definitely just trying to get to know you. But putting in consideration, he's getting to know somebody that he already knows all these facts about. So yeah. But there's that individual in you rolled a really low insight. You just noticed that they started acting weird around you. Yeah. So that's all you notice for like the rest of the night. The guy that he's hired to make sure that you're happy with the music and stuff like that. That elderly woman comes through, and what food would have been? Because he would have made the menu to your specifications.
Whiskey.
Roast
Yeah.
with soft carrots.
Lasagna.
Pasta. It
Not
probably
there.
Yeah, like a roast or steak or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I
and
don't know what is time period.
both
Beans and cornbread.
both. But
All of it. It's just
a roast probably would have been a little bit more difficult, so that's fancier. So they probably would have been that. But they actually slow roasted it over the fire of the turning, like the way it's supposed to be, and then
Eat that too.
he's not all you guys are being served the same thing. You're getting Winslow is huffing and puffing because he's having to go up the steps, bringing everyone their stuff. Frederick, you're probably still laying on the bed, having to rest.
I'm gonna go, if Frederick will let me, I'm gonna go hang out and keep him company in his room and just throw my tomahawk against the wall and summon it back over and over and just make chit chat.
So this is while you're trying to make these
You wanna-
talismans too. So he's distracting you. That's
Oh, well,
that's why the talismans didn't work. How's that?
My
Yeah,
bad.
that sounds so right. Throwing it against the wall.
Oh, the audio cut out. I didn't
Yeah.
hear you complain.
Sorry. I'm just like kind of crying, like just like a little fed up with everything going wrong.
He's like, what is life? Just like vibing.
Awesome. Okay, so
Yep.
all right. But then you have that you kind of have the idea, and you just ask like, is there any way that we can actually have Frederick and yourself get healed up quicker? And he blushes like hardcore. He's like, well, I might know somebody. Winslow, could you maybe hire somebody? And Winslow goes off, and he actually does it like right then.
Oh,
So that's why. Yeah, well, he wanted to get out of the room.
Yeah, it's like
Out of here. And when he does come back, like an hour and a half later, he smells like he's been drinking. Like,
Arch.
but he's walking just fine. He's like, like his,
He's holding his liquor.
but he's yeah. So his eyes are a little glazed over, like. Oh, is there anything else? Sir? Can you go check on Boone? So he goes checks on Boone. Now, with that, he did notice that you liked the croissants. So there's like always a tray of like fresh croissants.
That is a
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's he's trying his best to, and honestly, you spark a pretty good conversation. You actually find out more about him. Pretty much all you find out that his life sucked. It like just because he was rich, his dad hated him. His mom couldn't even look at him. Of all of his siblings, his 6 other siblings, he's the youngest.
to deal with.
And and, like this is broken conversation, but this is kind of what you figured out. Once he was born, that's when his family's businesses kind of started to falter for whatever reason, and he felt like he was blamed for it, and they always did. So he was sent off to schools and stuff. But he's had the physical issues his entire life. But so he couldn't, even when he was when he did see Frederick when he was younger, his family would just kind of shun him. That's what he grew up with. That's why you're kind of figuring out his social awkwardness. Like even it's almost like his family made other people be mean to him, kind of thing. So yeah.
We're all like, oh.
Everybody's like,
We're just hearing from the.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's their doors.
Well,
Hey, that sucks, man.
and that individual I talked about with the boulder, he has his hat down, and you're kind of seeing it like he's tall, dark, and way too actually almost disgustingly good looking. Like you're just like, what? It's like not natural almost. He goes down. He's like, and you can definitely tell he's going to the ostentatious saloon. And that's where he goes every day. So, yep. Well, that's up to you because he's
Shoot him.
he has a 3-piece suit. The inside of it is actually like a dark purple. So whenever you move, like
Styling.
and then he's got multiple silver rings. All of everything is looks like it's actual silver. Roll me a perception.
I'm like,
No, not
We'll do
observation. Observation.
Yes.
And you can actually go through the suit if you want.
So, do you want me to? I'll roll thievery then.
Because that's what your eye. That's yeah.
So I had 2 successes, but a critical fail.
Yeah, she got a crit success. The trick fail.
Now with a single success, you would have been like, oh, that's all silver. You have 2 successes. You're like, that's silver, and I know where all of his weapons are.
Perfect.
Okay, so in a small, like you can tell in his pockets, he definitely has knuckle dusters in each pocket. Now, but the thing is you can tell that the way he's moving and stuff, he moves purposely the way he stands to hide it. And the only reason you saw it is because he did his wave, and when he did his wave, you saw that he has a holstered Lamont pistol in the small of his back. It's a shortened barrel, but it's still a Lamont. Do you know what a Lamont is?
Yes.
It has a shotgun rounds too.
Yes, but it's like all like inlaid in silver, and the
I'm now the perfect guy.
with
Arrogant.
with a pencil mustache, like and his eye, like he has like black eyes almost, like how dark it is. Like to the level of the guy from like Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe, the Prince Caspian,
Yeah.
like that dark of black, like trippy. Yeah. So he goes there. So now this is your decision. If you want it, you could lead the conversation towards asking about him, or do you just want to ask more about that? He's like, this is roughly, you found out about his life, that he went to Harvard, and he kind of got asked to leave, and he went to Yale. But he went to both, and the thing is, he kept ticking off his professors because he was more intelligent than they were, and he let them know. And also so he's just like, you're finding out he's extremely intelligent.
Isolated.
Yes.
So I would probably like steer the conversation, asking a few questions about our new guest, but then I'd try to steer the conversation back to Thaddeus so he wouldn't feel like I was like, "Hey, who's that?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's your name?"
Is that guy single?
I mean,
What's
Yeah.
okay, so that
think I might just ask.
that is Mr. Greywater.
Okay.
Jeremiah Greywater.
Jeremiah Greywater.
I'll just make sure that everyone gets to meet him tomorrow.
Oh,
I just feel it's a little awkward me telling people about people unless they're right in front of me. I've learned that from last time. I do apologize about, and then he totally like apologizes about telling your back, like everything. He's just like I'm. In the moment, I was just so excited that I had new people in my employ. And then about now, you'd notice that your favorite flower is actually at the table, and you're wondering why how he would know because he never asked. So if you want to ask that.
Well, so yeah.
this time I'm going over to see what Cedric's up to. Start crazy.
I'd ask him how he knew that was my favorite flower, because I'd be like a little like,
I'm very sorry I asked our Miss Ingrid, and that's the old lady. I asked her to use her gift to make sure.
oh, okay.
she's got a gift. Is it for me?
I want a gift.
No, you have a gift.
You have a gift that's a scary act.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna trade it for flowers.
He's just he's not.
I'll make you an old man. I got you.
Thank you, Cedric.
Okay, now this is
You think it me.
okay. This is me stepping outside of this character and stuff, and me being a DM. Is that something that you actually would want to do in gameplay?
Do what?
You wind
You
up
actually
dying.
have
No.
someone's okay.
Nope.
Because if it is, I can
Nope.
try my best. Would Jeff,
Sorry.
Jeff, are you looking for the seduce skill?
yeah.
am I?
I'm in love with science.
Okay. But if it happens,
Tune in next time.
With the mouse that looks like this.
okay. All right, good to know. All right, cool. Now sidestepping back. Yeah. Okay. Now going back into this, is there any music wise, he actually brought in like a thespian to do like monologues and stuff because he does like he's just like he's trying to bring entertainment. Otherwise, if you're not enjoying yourself, we can go to the ostentatious and see what they have.
Don't look at me. I'm hanging out with Cedric upstairs right now. I
have an idea.
Refrigerator.
If he does that, kind of going in tune with my next ability, how I discover that.
Oh, you're gonna try?
I want to see like I have a scenario that plays out if he comes and visits me.
Okay. I'll come over.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Am I doing it right now?
Yeah. Let's.
Okay. So I'm doing Cedric stuff, studying,
Okay.
and say I like cut my hand,
Mhm.
right, and blood spills out, and it's boiling. I want to say it's like boiling. It's like I'm like, and then it like fades into black, kind of like that portal when he
Mhm.
slipped over. And so I go,
So
So I'm
if you could roll me a sorcery,
how many? Just two?
just to now you can give me doom. Now with sorcery, if it is not under your target number, that is a complication. and that's the
I'll
way
give
I
you
should have
some
been doing with your.
Goes
If it's
to-
not under a what number?
If it's not your target number or below, it's a complication.
I'll give you some doom.
Okay, how much?
Just for one more.
Okay.
My sorcery's not bad. I say it's not bad, and I'm gonna critical fail 3 times. I succeed twice.
So 2 successes.
Successes.
And so one failure.
Yeah.
Gonna do this.
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of do this. You like pull up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a rip in time and space.
Okay.
And you're like,
But also, like after that, as he's like walking in, I want to like lift up my special item and go. Like I whisper, I'm like, I'm getting close. And then he walks in, and I'm like,
I'm
just like,
you uncover.
I'm. Well, he doesn't see it. It's like hidden right here, but I whisper to it, and I say like, I'm getting closer. And he
Okay.
walks in, and I'm like,
That thing.
and I drop it.
Perfect. I think
Closer to what? And then you close it or what?
It's just I just drop it.
yeah, there's what you'd see.
But
What did in your room? It's just all
it's just everything.
alchemy stuff
Mhm.
around,
Okay.
like glass tubes.
Tubes, random stuff.
Yep, and then
Some
he-
things are
he's
covered.
at his desk, and there's a cloth over like a big jar. It looks like. So that's what he just let that thing.
So
Too long.
I see him.
Make them those now.
I see him, and I go, and I'm like, it's nothing. But look at this. And it's like black blood. I'm like,
Be like
this is
writing with
amazing. No, I'm like, I have to study this. So get out. This is very important for me. I push him out, and I shut the.
yeah.
And I'm just like, well, that's it. I'm going to the. All right, because people are racist. I'm going back to my room.
You can because they know you.
Okay, I'm going there.
Okay, you're going to the. Are you going to Gus's or Ostentatious?
Which one are they going to?
You
Are you guys?
You don't know.
You have both.
Okay. Let's see. Tulok is looking to blow off steam. So he's gonna go to ostentatious and he's just gonna people watch.
Okay. All right. So he actually heads out before, and
I try to do it stealthy, but
I'm not gonna have you roll because I'm already getting way too much doom.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you're just kind of you're sitting at one of the tables in the back. They remember this is where a gunfight
right.
happened earlier. They remember, and
That's sweet.
one of the bartenders is like, "You can have that table, just don't throw it."
I just
Okay. And you do see that individual that you've seen. I mean, he's hamming it up, playing cards, and he
Okay.
is just
like circle by people.
Yeah, and like there's a bunch of ladies, of course, around him. Like, of
course.
yeah. And it just he's just having fun. He's taking his hat off, like tossing it, and like doing like tricks with coins.
Oh, that's cool.
Like he's doing that, and then he's like, oh,
Real
and then he's like flirting with the girl next to him while he's doing that with the coin, and then he flicks the coin, and that's his bet, and then he's like, oh, does this win? And he's just like totally
Effortlessly cool.
yeah, and then the people buying him are just the guy. So this is what you're watching. You're like watching,
Very cool.
yeah, like immense bravado to its level. It's like almost disgusting. And you're just like, and about a half hour later, if you're wanting to, like and that he's really trying to lead. And you can definitely tell he's like fighting past pain to walk at your because you remember his leg and his arm now, but his yeah. But no, the thing is his now his arm isn't in a sling at the moment. He actually put like a ring through one of his buttonholes to hold his finger up so it doesn't look like there's a sling, and he tries to open the door and everything, and he's
Is this the one with the sling?
yeah. So it's really awkward person doing awkward things. So
I see them come in. I'm just gonna turn to the.
So there are those girls are like dancing girls for the saloon, amongst other things, of course. And so there is a piano player. So, yeah.
I was referencing earlier.
Oh. Yeah. There are rules in Conan for that.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, it's my talent. I'm good at. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, and so he gets a table, and then so you're kind of just people watching, and it's just having regular conversations that way. And you're definitely noticing that Mr. Greywater that's winning. Like
I'm
less
just,
than
just annihilating everybody.
yeah, and it's kind of like he's like he might lose like a few hands, but he's like
like almost like on purpose.
almost like that. And yeah.
Makes it up after they get encouraged again to
Uh-huh.
keep betting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
yeah. And then of course Thaddeus explains like I don't play cards with never mind both of us, or it's not a good thing when we play cards.
That's part of the reason why I was like, that's not fun if I play cards, but he's
But
like,
then he's like, but unless you want.
Power play.
I would not make him play cards.
But if you wanted to, you could play. And he's like, if you want to play cards, you could. Is 200 enough to start with? And you're like, $200?
Just play one round and then cash out. Play one round, fold, cash out.
His recollection of what money costs.
Yeah, he has no
Mhm.
comprehension.
He does because his
No, it's all the railroads. Why would
well, the thing is his businesses all took off where his families have faltered.
Hmm.
And they're still, wealthy, but they all hate him.
Yeah.
Like his entire life. That's all he's known.
If he was offering to
stay
pay, I would step in and play cards.
Okay.
Having cards, but
And so
just out of curiosity, because
Okay.
now I'm getting like suspicious.
okay. So what we're gonna do is like when I say 1 gold, that's like $10. Okay. So we're actually gonna use the rules in Conan for gambling.
I'm just studying.
Frederick's just like there by himself.
Yep, you're Frederick is in his room. Unless you wanted to come, did you
you
want
can come with me if
did you want to rest at the Ostentatious there, Frederick?
Well, if I can rest, yeah, because I'm resting, but I'm also like I want my eye to stay good. I'm probably like reflecting on like Descartes.
you and me are sharing a table like
That would be so funny. You got at the same table. He's just
we're sharing the
you're just
table.
like,
I'm just like looking around, like bored out of my mind.
Okay, so let me
Yeah, I'll be there.
let me Jeff, did I send you the rules for gambling?
Not that I remember.
Okay, when gambling with a let's see here, this gambling on cards or like you betting on a race or anything like this. This is going to be the same rules, okay? Whenever the players are gambling on, the process is the same. The player character wagers 1 or more gold, so that's going to be like $10. And rolls 1 combat dice, so like a 1d6 for each gold so wagered. The wager is spent, but the total rolled on this is the amount of gold the player character walks away with after gambling. So a 3 and a 4, you walk away with nothing, so that's you losing. This could be more, less, or the same amount of gold as the player character wagered. A player character that chooses to cheat on gambling adds an additional +1 to the total for each effect rolled. So that'd be like 2 instead of just 1. But if the number of effects equals or is greater than the character's thievery expertise are rolled, then the character is caught cheating and loses the gold spent. So how many dice are you wanting to? Do you just want to like how
I'll start with 2.
2? Okay,
Yeah.
2 dice. Are you going to be cheating?
No, I'm not gonna cheat
Okay.
since I'm.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
I got a 1 and a 2.
1 and a 2. So your wager was $20, so you actually made $10 additional dollars. So you're at 30. Yep.
I could just keep going.
So if you want, so you're at 30. So if you want to wager that full amount, you can add another dice.
I got a 1 and 2 3s, so 3s.
So you, I'll say that you're back down to $10. Yeah. Yeah. So it's up to you. So yeah.
Okay.
And you are you playing against Jeremiah?
Yeah, I would want to.
Okay, so you're so this is no, he's actually like sitting right adjacent back and like kind of giving like tapping you for different tips and stuff at just at the right time. And but you're kind of noticing that he is literally counting the cards. Like he doesn't know how to like he doesn't play. He's
Just doing math.
Math.
that's just the way his mind works. And but you're kind of enjoying, you're just like, oh my gosh, the kind of intellectual terror
Prowess.
that is
Yeah.
sitting next to. And but then Jeremiah, he's got like one of the girls is like holding a cigar.
Yeah.
He's like it's all awkward. He's just playing. But you're getting that vibe like he kind of sets off the vibe that he believes he owns the world, or he should. But he doesn't have his jacket on now, and he's actually got two silver chains going into those areas. You're like, but that doesn't make sense. There's no pocket watches, so it looks like it's almost stitched to make it look like it's all to hide the knuckle dusters. And then, but also the way he's sitting is purposely hiding his weapon in the back. And well, miss. Introduce myself. I'm Jeremiah Ignatius Greywater, and it is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss. What was?
Jade.
And Thaddeus, like,
Thaddeus is like,
no,
It takes
and
it.
it's like you can definitely tell Thaddeus is that strange intimidation is there from him. So that you can read that like and he's trying to hide it, but you can read that. So however you want to take that, or however you want to handle that, that's up to you.
Don't cost me my job, Jade.
Now, so that's after a few games. So it's probably around like 10 o'clock at night at the moment. The guys are still playing, but it's starting to get past the fun part for
Yeah, no,
certain
it's
of them, and they're wanting to make money, and they're playing against Jeremiah Greywater, and of course this lady that's kind of winning on and off. They've got Thaddeus there, so they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But so this is an opportunity. Like if you want to have a conversation with Jeremiah, if you want to have a conversation with Thaddeus, so
I would probably get up from the table just because, like, the vibe is
Yeah.
bad at the
Yeah.
table because now it's like everybody's wanting to make money, and so
Yeah.
it's like, because I just mainly wanted to like figure out why he was winning. So now I'm like, I'm done. So
Okay.
I would be it would be kind of, I would leave it up to Thaddeus what he wanted to do, if he wanted to stay at the Ostentatious or go back, whatever at that point. But
For an evening stroll.
evening limp.
Yeah.
so, like,
Well,
just make him suffer, walk him around the town.
well,
You want one more thing then?
but
Make us money.
he actually is just like it doesn't matter. The night's yours. So whatever you'd like to do.
Stop.
And so like this is you guys already walked out of the Ostentatious. So so right now you can't really tell his flush level. How's that? He wanted to do that. So and you've got Winslow there, not really enjoying him, like far enough back.
Standing next to Thaddeus, like not looking.
Oh no, he's like once you guys get outside, he steps away. He's like right at the point where it's like barely able for him to hear like his name. So he's want to give you space. He's like he's not
like a
enjoy-
dog. Like,
Yeah.
he's not to listen, but he's listening for his name.
So that's That's what's going on, and he actually offers to take a stroll with you, and you're like, you got that weird feeling like he wants to walk with you like a normal thing, but you're like, that's gonna cause pain. Yeah.
I would appreciate the gesture for the walk, but I would tell him no because I just like can't justify
Okay.
making him suffer.
Okay.
But it'd probably be like a really awkward delivery, so we'd both be like,
Okay. All right. Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. So
mm,
what do you want to do then?
I guess at this point, I would want to go back. I would probably be like done for the evening unless he has anything else for me. Quit.
Okay. So you're gonna he actually walks you to your room. Yep. And he like kisses your hand, and then there you go.
Wow.
He's got game, I'm telling you. He's like, anything else you want to know?
No, he's like he doesn't give eye contact or anything. He's just like,
Oh, he's like red, beat red. He's like,
well, he's like, well, okay. Put in consideration for someone from his station not being taught by his family,
yeah.
He's doing really well for himself
And
for
he-
someone.
and he actually probably has learned all of this via reading books. So
Game.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean that genuinely, not ironically. Like, he did well.
yeah, so that was your evening. So like, yeah. Now,
I'm gonna look at Frederick. Can I walk you back to the hotel?
He's
Cedric,
not walking.
did you choose a spell?
Oh yeah, I would like to take dismember.
Okay, so it's during you kind of you doze off, kind of playing with your dagger,
Yeah.
and you quote unquote wake up, and you're talking to Miss Laveau at her
okay.
at her usual place, and like the incense is around, and but you don't have the dagger at the moment, and then it just kind of appears on a table, and it's slowly spinning, and then the blade points to you, and she like takes her cigarette out of her mouth and just kills the ash on it, and then the smoke starts slowly billowing out of her nose, and she's like French inhaling, like through her mouth and then into her nose, and then she's talking, doing the same thing. So like honestly, what should be impossible to do, she's
Smoking her smoke.
you haven't ever seen that,
I've seen it, but
Yeah.
I like to do it over and over.
but it's and the color of it's starting to change to like a bluish tint. Well, hon, you can do something special now, and you've got the knowledge to do dismember with possibility of the damage that you do to an individual, or it has to be a living thing. Like if you choose to do it to a tree, you take its life and give it to something else.
I need help.
The same hand that
Yeah.
heals is the same hand that kills.
Yep. And then she also says, and your dagger can do something else too. I don't know just yet. Of course, I've never touched it. But over time, you might figure something else out.
All right.
Yep. So, so at the moment, you have the 325 experience, but you've spent them to gain an additional pact with her.
Okay.
There we go. Cedric, and you were testing out,
Yeah.
doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So you pretty much did that the whole night.
Yeah, I think after that, as he's walking back like
Mhm.
down, I peek my head at him. I'm like, Thaddeus, I know you're in high spirits, but I have to show you something.
So as he's walking away,
Mhm.
he turns around and he goes in, and he like collapses onto the chair. He's just like, give me a second.
Poor man.
Like he's
Pull out my flask.
he downs it. I'm like, oh, I'll keep you some more. He peeks out the door. Winslow, bring a bottle. And then like he's like at a level that only Winslow could hear, so making sure that you can't. He's just like, and then he starts the really awkward conversation of like intellectuals. He's like,
Mhm.
so how did you get married and stuff, and like how did you handle all that? It's like really, he's intrigued by the whole thing. And you can definitely tell that he's like he doesn't know how to take how tonight went. And you're like, that whole bro moment. You're like, you can make him feel good, or you could dash his dreams right now. So I'm gonna. Do you want to roll, or do you want to actually do that?
No, I don't want to. So he's asking like what marriage is like.
Well, no.
Real me doesn't know.
Yeah. No, it's more like it's just like do you think like it's like do you think I have a chance or am I just wasting my time? It's like oh god.
I'm looking at my petri dish. No, I'm like, well,
And honestly, you could just be like, well, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about
I'll
this.
just like quickly, I'll be like, I mean, I think you can do it. Confidence is key, you know? And that got me pretty far, I guess. Anyway, I pull out
So
and
you
then I
see,
pull out it's
Okay.
like in a petri dish, and it's
Okay.
like, I guess, black and bubbly or whatever.
okay, so what happens is when you just have a regular like when your blood comes out.
Mhm.
It looks normal, but then it's in the air for a little bit. It changes to the black, and it's almost like it becomes sticky and tar-like.
Cool. I'm like, yeah, I'll just say like, this happened recently discovered,
Okay.
literally earlier today. So,
Okay. What talent were you? Were you gonna get a talent or up a skill or something?
wait, I still have points because I thought I would get the summon.
Oh, you chose that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's why
So-
I didn't make this.
Okay, so that only would be 200 experience. You have
Okay, so-
125 left.
Is there anything I can get with that?
Um,
Am I just
with one like 100. Excuse me.
What is the team that I can do?
Mhm.
Now we go.
Not really, just not at the moment.
Yeah.
But you do.
probably just save it?
It's yeah.
Yeah, I'll save it.
And then were you choosing a talent?
Yeah, I was gonna do the touched with.
The touch? Okay, so that's 200. So you have 125 left over at the moment. And you?
I didn't have a chance to look through all of them.
Okay, so I'll
So
let you.
between two.
But yeah, I'm just trying to get like what his perspective is on this because like,
Okay.
I think I have an idea.
Okay, so he actually this is where it gets really then he brings up well, how about you look at it through the map,
Okay, yeah.
and then this is where he actually explains what the manacle is to you. And through his explanation, he is like, oh, tonight, while you're sleeping, your axe talks to you.
Okay. Cool.
But it's like I give you so much more.
Yeah, I think so.
That's just thanks.
This would be
What?
you have the possibility of doing damage without having to use the axe.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
It's called dismember.
That sounds dope.
Frederick has it, but he can heal with it. This cannot be healed. What you do.
Oh, this is exciting.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The skill I was looking at was as blood on steel, so this sounds cooler.
Well, blood on steel. That's melee, right?
Yep. Nope. Then I was thinking about getting one for environments and stuff too.
Okay, blood on steel is 200.
Okay.
So you, because you have no mercy at the moment.
Correct.
So you do not say, and one momentum in order to add the vicious quality to weapon or increase the weapon's vicious quality by 1. So your axe is already vicious, so it'd be
Right.
vicious 2.
Right.
Which is awesome. Now, also the thing is with what your axe is offering you, that could be story in the future.
Okay.
Um,
The story mean I don't have to pay for it, or what does that mean?
oh, there's always payment.
Yeah.
There's always.
In dismemberment, I guess you're about to explain. So
I'm getting you to the spell, and then I'm going to have you read it,
Oh,
just so you can actually read it. So this is dismember.
Okay.
Here's other options you can use with it. Now how you're learning this, so you'd be giving your you'd be giving all those experience, because in essence you have a patron, and it's the axe itself that you
Right.
really don't know. And then also we'll have to have you and Frederick roll me 5 d6s, and either you have to you can take that as vigor, resolve, or gold for what you're paying to your patron.
paying to use it or paying for this to learn it?
Every carousing time, because you know this, you're
Uh-huh.
paying by blood or something like that.
I see.
Now those that are used touched, like touch, you're not paying for it. You pay when you actually cast it.
Okay.
Like it's a higher cost. And then it also kind of explains. He's like, but if I give you this, you've got to release me.
Okay.
So that could be something in the future if you want to.
Definitely. 'Cause I want to explore that.
Okay, so would you want blood on steel instead? Just so you know that there's a possibility for doing that in the future. How's that?
So if I do dismember, I get to continue on the path with the axe, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then definitely dismember.
Well, you can still continue down the path with your relationship with the axe, but
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, like, this would be the talent you'd get. You'd be getting this, whereas you could do blood on steel, and you could still pursue this in the future.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
just saying, like, you don't have to.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm in combat and I want to use dismember.
Mm-hmm.
I would just. How does that work? Because I've never cast a spell.
You'd be using your sorcery.
Okay.
Now, if you see the spend,
Mm-hmm. One resolve.
yeah. So,
It's not nice at all.
yeah, you spend the one resolve, and then you need. Then it also says the different amounts.
Okay.
I believe it's just one success that you need, and this is momentum spends, what you can do.
I see. Oh, I see. Okay.
You said 1 gold is like $10.
Pretty much. I'm just kind of. Also, your relationship with Miss Laveau, we could kind of like you could maybe send her a parcel with some of the things you found. Like you'd giving certain like because some of the stuff that you have is pretty expensive.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, there's so many options.
That's what's I spell sorcery.
Then let's go with dismember, and I can do blood on steel at a later date.
So you've got just write down you have dismember.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll send you this.
Very cool. The axe said, "Release me." So then Tulok's thinking, "What did my dad do?
Yep.
Did my dad release him, or did my dad keep him bound? Is it him? What is it?"
Yep, there you go. So I just sent you a picture of the screen so you actually know
Very
what
cool.
dismember is and all that. Okay, so now this would be a few awkward days later for you, Miss Jade, of course, and so Thaddeus like kind of walks faster by you and stuff, like just because he doesn't know anything. Um, but through this, so after a few days, there's an individual that comes in, and they kind of come in a cloak. It was near evening, and you definitely heard the train come in and then leave like right away. This
That was the only person getting.
Yeah, so you're like, wait, they can do that?
Yeah.
And this individual comes in, and all of you definitely feel it because you all have at least some sorcery sense. And the room gets colder and warmer all at the same time.
Hmm.
If that's
When the stranger walks in.
Yeah, but you're not all in the same room. Like you're in your room and you feel it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So I'm guessing like probably you're maybe at the bar at the Majestic, and probably Frederick is too, just sitting there, just probably sipping on. You're probably just having a basic conversation when this person comes in. Uh, and this individual talks to Thaddeus first, um, and Thaddeus comes down, and he's not in the sling anymore. It looks like the gunshot wound is actually all healed up. The individual comes down wiping blood off their hands, though. And then Thaddeus comes up to you, Frederick. Would you like to see what we can do with your eye, sir?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna have you do a. I'm just gonna. Do you just want it healed, or do you like the option of gaining your fortune?
I like the option of gaining my fortune.
Okay, so it can be healed, so you guys can go out now. So you get laid down in your bed, and the person pulls back their hood, and they are like a walking burn scar,
Oh,
and their left arm doesn't have any burns, and it's like their hand goes into your face and pulls out, and then it looks like they're burnt.
Whoa.
okay.
So they're taking it upon themselves.
Wow.
So the injury's gone, but your left eye is milky white right now.
Got a cool score.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
have a scar, and it's healed. And then they walk up to Thaddeus and just apologize that that's the best they can do.
Okay. So the wound is gone, but the scar remains.
Yes.
Okay.
Dope.
There is possibility in the future of you being able to regain your eyesight through probably talking to Miss Laveau,
Okay.
because that's the level, because the type of magic that he's using is pretty much like Rastafarian. Um, and so they just kind of head out. You don't get their name or anything. It's very straight, like, but he's given a lot of money. So,
Well,
Yeah, I bet.
thank you, Thaddeus.
welcome. I'm
Inspecting myself with a mirror, like looking at my now blinded milky white eye and the scar.
and it
Probably
looks
pretty brutal.
it looks actually like it's like a beautiful shade of, like, it's a pearl almost looking.
Oh,
Yeah, and so like the scar tissue itself looks like it's had years to heal, so it's just discoloration.
okay.
So in essence, what just happened would be like 20 years of healing in an instant.
Wow. Okay.
And your eyes can still look, but the reason your eye had so much damage is the concussive force messed up everything in your eye.
Mhm.
So yeah,
But I still can't see out of that.
correct, because I purposely asked you. So
Yep.
okay, now how and during this time you heal trauma, and if we were playing Conan, you'd actually have to pay to do that. But how each of you heals your trauma is different. Like maybe someone just every single day sitting at the bar, just kind of just sipping and just kind of cooling down. So yeah,
I didn't have any traumas. So
your axe healed it.
yep. It was quite nice. I
Yep.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
So then during after you're all healed up, let's see here. I'm wondering if we want to have a conversation with Mr. Jeremiah or no.
Jeremiah. Set the stage on what to expect first.
Jeremiah.
You know, the funny thing about Jeremiah is he was a bullfrog.
We're killing your
He
character.
was a good.
Thank you, Frederick.
So actually,
So anyway,
Yeah.
to go past that.
Thaddeus beckons him to join the table with all of you there. Well, my name is Jeremiah Ignatius Greywater, and I am I won't say a practitioner or anything. No. And y'all smell almost like expensive cologne perfume coming from them.
Okay.
I'm I'd probably say master of all things arcane and occult. So, and I also deal in the strange and obscure. So he beckons Winslow to be dragging this thing. So he offers a whole bunch of things to Thaddeus, um, like silver ore, electrum, which is gold and silver kind of that form together. You really can't get it apart. But so he shows like a silvered cap and ball. So like if you could actually fire this. Just know that like just game mechanic wise, if you're using any of this special ammunition, you have a more of a possibility of a complication from 17 and up. Because that means, like for instance, if it's just a silver bullet, it's lighter than lead, so it flies different. If it's gold, it flies different because it's heavier.
Mhm.
And if it's a mixture of the two, to get and also the powder rate, he's tweaked the powder to actually make it have different things. But this is like to actually hit like a horror or an undead or something unnatural, you have to usually spend doom to make something in source like your axe
Right.
or your dagger, Frederick. This is what's called Bane. It automatically has that. It will hurt things of the unnatural nature. It's kind of wasting it on natural things, but you could, by definition, have like a revolver filled with just this or something like that.
Ooh.
Ooh, that'd be cool to turn the pistols I got to just bang.
Then you wouldn't be able to use them. I mean, so
Pistols.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
I should forgot about that.
Yeah.
Then you should. Sweet.
So that's actually because he's like Thaddeus is like really milling this over because he's just like, what happened to you guys? So this would be where you guys could help him with this decision.
I think you two should get some Bane. Try and keep up.
Me?
Try to keep up. Excuse me. Who
Nobody knows about my gooey so I'm
Oh,
do they have ingredients?
I was gonna tell you about your monocle.
Oh yeah.
that is actually it's called blood glass, and it actually happens only when like someone did a failed summoning, and that's actually all that was left to the person that had the failed summoning.
Whoa.
So like, and it coagulated in like a single drop of blood, and it turned into like that. They're still trying to figure out exactly what it is, but it has, and there's more than just, there's ones that are like a green, and it sees different things. Now, the one that you're looking through, they're like, it could be real or it could not be, because it's not pure.
Mm.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
and there's purple. The purple one is like the most clear to see through, and it does not give pain.
Oh, you need one of them.
So we're trying to basically convince Thaddeus that like we can keep doing this, or like we're accepting materials from this.
Well, this would be like, do you think Thaddeus should hire these services?
Oh.
So
Yeah.
does that mean he has to accompany us on our missions? Or does it just
That could be up to you guys.
Oh. What do you guys think?
Well, I think so, because like it would be so much easier in combat to fight those things. Because you weren't there when we had to fight all the ghouls, but it was extremely hard because
So you're having this conversation like in front,
yeah,
and like Thaddeus, you've noticed in the past few days, Thaddeus always looks to you almost like he's having you help him with decisions.
oh,
Yeah, and but then also at the same time, it's got that awkwardness is like, because you haven't really talked
Yeah, we haven't
since that. So,
yeah, I would be having
Does he have like
to
materials I could use?
what kind of materials are you on?
Well, I guess basic make acids, but also if I could use with my new project that I just discovered, do I want to reveal that to him?
Just so you know, for your new thing,
Mhm.
you've got to suffer. If you suffer, I'll have you roll like one of these, and that's how much bigger damage you take. Or you can choose to do it as resolve,
Mhm.
costing one resolve. But if you choose, like if you take a wound in combat, you can choose to summon at that time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now, if you do that, however much damage you took, you'll take that many dice and roll it,
Mhm.
because if you might be able to summon something bigger from that, a bigger type of ghoul.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm just trying to, you're touched by this, you don't have total control over it.
Yeah.
So like it could be amazing, it could be like,
Mm-hmm.
so if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Hey, all right, it's on me. All right. I think I'm gonna look at Jade, Frederick, and Cedric together because Tulok is slow to accept people. So now he's accepted you guys, and he trusts you guys because after our recent adventures, and so he's going to look at you three and say, "I think we need the supplies, but I don't know that we need anyone to travel with us." And he's gonna just leave that in the air for your guys' decision.
I think we could probably hold our own as well, but you know,
All right then. Snaps his fingers and his thumb's on fire, and he lights a cigar. And he,
what?
yep. And he just sits back. Yep.
I think maybe
It's customary around these parts for a demonstration to be had.
I don't feel like I need to do that. He's just sitting back. just puffing.
I think you would be more than welcome to accompany us if need be, if that's what you wanted.
You roll a persuasion.
Two six,
Three
three
successes.
successes.
Yeah, you. Uh, Thaddeus says whatever Jade says.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna look over at Frederick. Gotta give a little eye roll. I don't know if you can see me,
Right.
Jeff, but I gave a little eye roll to you.
I want to go up to him, really posture up and everything, and I fart my jacket and I go, "Do you have anything that has to deal with summoning things?" That was me. That was not my character. He
They're like, what'd she say?
so good, and they're like, "Are you okay?"
Well, what I will do is I'll maybe send off for some information. I know Mr. Thaddeus might have some information, but I'll pull some coins as it were. You just have to owe me, Mr.
Cedric.
Cedric. All right.
I'm like, good doing business. Then I brought my jacket again and then walk.
Look at you like he owes it now. Are we okay with this?
Mr. Thaddeus, if I'm under your employ, not as just a contractor, but your employer, what does this entail? And then Thaddeus goes into um, he writes up an agreement that all the stuff that he actually has with him can be used by you guys. And that's where you start seeing that he's starting to twitch a little bit. But that's my stock that I sell. Will I be compensated? If you don't fail, pretty much.
Mm.
So his countenance kind of changes. Like he's still confident, but he's ticked off confident. You get the feeling like he'll be getting a lot of money, but it probably took a lot to have what he has. So you have 6 rounds of which firearm were you gonna be?
I can't remember the peacemakers. I would put it in the
So the 45 long Colt.
yes.
Okay, so at the moment you only had the 6 rounds of the 45 long Colt. Were you wanting rounds for your firearm, Frederick?
It's it's tough because it's like a in case of emergency kind of feel, but at the same time, Frederick, after losing his dominant eye, it's just kind of like, do I even need to use guns anymore?
Well, he does have 1 round, so you have one. And remember, yours you can actually reload yours in combat.
Yeah, I'll take a.
So he has got a single round in your cart for the cartridge size. So like if you saved your cartridges, he can maybe reload in the future. He's got like a 20 gauge round, which is not the same size as the coach gun for you, Cedric. But you did see there's a single shot in a single shot 20 gauge shotgun that you guys have for that.
Okay.
And it definitely smells of garlic. Like it is pungent.
Okay.
That one. Are you wanting any like silver ball for your
Probably not.
Okay.
I think because I haven't even used any of the ammunition I was carrying in my sidearm yet. So
Okay. And but that's no. There we go.
Kent?
Have you looked at all through that?
I mean, I looked at the blood. But
Okay. Oh, when you looked at that there was that black smoke coming off of it. And then when you actually did that you could actually kind of see inside of the rip. And it looked a lot like your dream on the other side.
we can run to the other side.
So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of leave it at that is the end of your meeting. It's kind of like the end of this session.
Okay.
So everyone, but this is like the end of still a few weeks have happened. All your trauma is healed up. You spent a lot of money on just probably just hamming it up, having fun when you could. You So we can start our next session. Actually, you guys having a better conversation with Jeremiah if you're wanting to
Mhm.
or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully everybody had fun.
Yep.
This is very cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So see you guys next time.